Hey guys. So we've been talking about stewardship, which remember, stewardship is taking care of something. God has given us the responsibility of taking care of the world. And so we are supposed to be good stewards of the world. And so obviously when we think of the world, we think of sun, the moon, the stars, plants, animals, and how can we take care of that? And so we're going to talk about part of the truth, 17 that we're learning is the second part is that God sustains the earth. Sustains means he keeps it going. He is the great planner. He designed the world and he didn't just create it. Okay, where in Genesis 1:1 it says that God that he created the heavens and the earth and that he spoke them into being. Everything that he created, he spoke into being other than man and woman. And so God is so powerful, and we see that through the Bible. But he didn't just create it and let it go. He sustains it. He keeps it going. And some of that is through the natural processes that we see every day. And so I made a video. I took a little field trip and I made a video kind of explaining one aspect of this. So I'll show you that. Let's see. Hey guys, I am coming to you live from my neighborhood, my neighbor's house specifically, and something I'm doing outside of school is I'm helping him with his garden. Never done a garden before, and he does it, and so I asked him, instead of just doing my own, not knowing what I was doing, I asked him if I could help him. And so for Bible today, we're talking about how God sustains the earth. So I'm going to show you a little garden that we have been doing. I'm trying to switch it around. I don't even know if my neighbors, oh, they're over here. But if you can see, okay, there's some that are starting to come up. There's the onions. Over there, we planted the green beans. And then we have, over here, we have beets, and they haven't started coming up yet. But the onions, you can see the onion tops. They have come up yet. They've started to come up. So my question is, we planted right now, we planted onions, we planted beets, we planted green beans, we're going to be planting some tomatoes. So my question is, if we planted the beets and the green beans and the onions, are we going to get anything else other than green beans, beets, and onions? No, because beet seeds grow beets. Onions grow onions. Green beans grow green beans. It's like that in all of nature. You're not going to plant an apple tree and get oranges. It's just not going to happen. Oh, my neighbor is walking off. And so that is how God created the world that we have. Same with animals. If a lion's not going to give birth to a tiger, a bear is not going to give birth to a dog, because God created things with order. God created things with a design, exactly how he wanted it to be. And so there's a lot of things we don't know about the earth, a lot of things are unpredictable, but at least in that sense, if I plant beets, if I plant my onions, I know what I'm going to get. I'm not going to be surprised about that. All the seeds when I planted them look different, which was fine. Okay, they're all very unique. Some seeds are really, really big, some are small, but yet they're all going to come up from the exact type. Okay, they need water, they need obviously soil that we've talked about, they need sunlight, but I know that after a while, because of how God created everything, I am eventually going to get my vegetables. Okay, so God created it like that. The seeds are ways that the plants can reproduce. They can go over and over. He doesn't have to create a tomato plant every time he wants a tomato plant. He made seeds, and then he provided ways for them to grow. So I have Psalm 104:10. It says, "You make springs gush forth in the valleys. They flow between the hills. they give drink to every beast in the field, and the wild donkeys quench their thirst. You cause the grass to grow for the livestock and plants for man to cultivate, that he may bring forth food from the earth. The trees of the Lord are watered abundantly, the cedar of Lebanon that he has planted. So God created soil, sun, and water to be part of the process so that he can sustain the earth, that plants can be sustainable for the earth, that they can reproduce over and over and over, so that we still have trees. And if we cut down a tree, it grows. Now, we have to be careful. That's part of us taking care of the earth, because if you cut down all the trees, if you've seen the Lorax, you have no more trees, okay? So we have to, that's part of us taking care, being good stewards. But part of what the Lord did for us is that he created the world and he sustains it. He created processes for them to sustain it. Okay? Another process that he created is, what about animals? Okay, so with animals, so I read 14, right, where it says, or it was 11, the animals drink to every beast of the field, and the wild donkeys quench their thirst. That means they get rid of their thirst. And in 21, it said, the young lions roar for their prey, seeking their food from God. When the sun rises, they steal away and lie down in their dens. So, who created animals? God did. And then again, like I said in the video, if you have lions, they're not going to produce a tiger, but God created a process for animals to reproduce, and it's going to be of the same kind. He created sea creatures, he created birds, he created land creatures, he created all those in the days of creation, and they will all produce their same kind. That's something that is natural. It's an order. It's not chaos, because we know that is a process that is natural, that we know is going to happen. Now, how does wild animals, not pets that you give food, but how do wild animals get water? What does it say in the Bible? It said that God provides them. God provides them with that water. That God made the animals specifically how he wanted them. He made the plants for the livestock to eat. It said it in this verse. He made lions to find water. And again, that's all about God sustaining the earth, creating these natural processes, the food chains and the cycles. All of these were able for the world to go around, for them to be sustainable, to reproduce. And this is all God's order of things. He knew all of these things that we needed to have. And then there are some seasons where food is not plenty. So how do animals, what do animals do if food's not plenty? Well, he's created bears to hibernate. He's allowed certain animals to be in certain places. Think about the animals that live in the desert. What do? You have to have water. But God created certain animals for certain environments. The animals that live in the rainforest, their environment is to have a lot of water and a lot of shelter. The animals that live in Antarctica, okay, God created them to live very, very cold weather. God created each animal for its own environment. Isn't that amazing? That is so cool to think about the order. God didn't just create things and then just went off his merry way. No, he created them with such design, such intelligence. It is absolutely amazing. The more you study science, the more you see how intentional God is, how creative God is. It is so cool. That's why I love that Bible and science are together, because they really do go hand in hand. Don't ever let people tell you that science and Bible don't go together. They do, because God created science. He created the world. And so, of course, when we learn about the world, when we study the world, then we're going to be learning more about God. So I'm going to pause this video and we'll go into part 2, and we're going to learn more about some animals that God created for specific environments, which I think are really cool.